Okay, now I'm going to talk about indices. Okay, index in rubber material. Okay, when I'm using a veneer, I use a lot of indices. If I want to classify these indices, they could be a preparation guide index, okay, or an index rubber for mock-up. Okay, it looks like an index as well. At the beginning, it is an index, and then you later modify it, and then you have where is the D? Okay, index for temporization. This is another index. Okay, what are the differences between these? First of all, the material. Indices for preparation, I don't need them very accurate. I just need to record the surface so that I can do a silicon with them. Okay, but the mock-up is something very accurate I want. So because I'm concentrating on the morphology of the marginal gingiva. So now what I see in a lot of videos, they are concentrating whenever using a mock-up not to use silicons, but rather using polyvinyl siloxane and even using it in putty and wash. So they place the wash around the marginal gingiva. So this is, suppose these are the casts. Do you have the anterior teeth? Cast of anterior teeth. Okay. Suppose these are my prepared veneers. Okay. They will flow light body impression material around the gingival margins from the inside and the other side, and then come with the putty over it to become more accurate. And then we have index for temporization. What is this? Oh, how do we use this? Okay, let's go first of all for preparation, or they call them preparation guides or preparation indexes. So for prep, this is the first prep, okay, guide for preps. Okay, so how do I create that? I first of all bring a lump of silicone over the teeth. I leave over the occlusal surface some of it, and then I press it in place, reaching up to the molars, okay? Because these will be used as stoppers. And then I place it, and it's in a bulk like this. Now this bulk produced is like, if I invert it and look at it from the inside, it will be like this. Okay, so I will leave the area on the molars intact, covering the molars from the lingual and palatal. But then inside the index, I will do a cut and eliminate this. This is eliminated. Okay, let me put it in red. So this is eliminated. I cut it. This line runs from the incisal edges and the incisal edges here and the central groove in the premolar area. So this is eliminated. I cut this away. The second cut I cut away is, if this is the incisal edges, I cut away reaching 1 millimeter above the incisal edge. Okay, so I cut. So suppose these are incisal edges, so it's above incisal edges, just close to the incisal edges. Okay, so now what do I have? I have a slot. I have this intact over the molars, going around the molars here and here. Then I have a labial half only of the index, and this index is reduced 1 millimeter above the incisal edges. Now this index itself, I begin cutting it. I make a slot, leaving some material to support, but this slot is open. I will open 1 millimeter above the incisal edge, in the middle of the incisal edges, and 1 millimeter above the marginal gingiva. What will I get? This begins opening like flaps. Okay, so I would judge my incisal index, my gingival mid preparation, and my gingival preparation. Okay, so I'll put a link for the video that uses this preparation, talks about it. This is a preparation guide. So I would manage and concentrate on my preparation, because many times when we're using, why do we need this? Because many times when we're using our depth gauges, okay, this is the tooth surface, and we've used our depth gauges here, here, and minimally here. But what about this preparation here? How much did I prepare? Secondly, when the tooth morphology is like this, okay, and this is the main bulge of the tooth, I find myself preparing a lot from here while minimally here. because I did not rotate my burr around. So I need to make sure, first of all, I'm preparing gingival, incisally, midway and gingival. So this is the, when I open this leaf, I'll see these parts differently and I'll compare my preparation, because sometimes going gingivally, I don't prepare correctly. And sometimes when I go proximally, I don't prepare correctly. I'm not reaching the contact point, by the way, but still, when I go to the close to the contact area, I'm not preparing enough. So it will tell me on the sides of it, okay? So when I need this preparation index. The second index is for mock-up, okay? And this is the index that we use with the rubber putty and wash. So this is the index there. This is the labial surface of the index. So the index is like a big, huge lump of rubber placed over the anterior teeth, okay? We don't leave it as a lump like this. We begin opening it as grooves, okay, and slots running through the material. These slots run through the material to the palatal side. Why do we need these slots? Because we want the escape of excess material. How do we cut these slots? By using a blade, okay? We're using blades. And we finalize them by acrylic finishing burrs that trim off any rough material, okay? This allows excess material to come out when we do our mock prep. Okay, this is our lump of material. We added it here, okay? And now we're looking at it facially.
Wait.
It was block.
هاي الامبريشن اللي أخذناها.
Yes, these are the teeth. The actual teeth are here. Suppose the actual teeth are here. I took it from where? From the cast, the study cast.
Okay, خلاص.
It's made on the study cast. Okay, these are the actual teeth, okay, inside the index. Now, palatally, I leave it. I don't need it. But lingually, labially, I'm going to cut the rubber above the marginal gingiva by 1 millimeter.
يعني اللايت
Marginal gingiva should be included in it.
اللايت بادي اللي كنت تحكي عنه قصدك يعني بناخده من الكاست بنحط لايت بادي.
Where is the light body? If I look at this, I will see the light body inside the index. It's running inside.
احنا already حطيناه على الكاست يعني.
Yes, on the cast. But then you put rubber over it. So when you see the index from up, you see two material close to the tooth. Because I want very accurately the marginal gingiva. Because when I want to do my mock, I don't want excess material going on the gingiva. Okay? So this is a mock-up index, rubber index for mock-up, and we usually use putty and wash. There is another one for temporization purposes. It's similar to this one, but the difference is the where we cut. So this is for mock-up. The cut above the gingiva is for mock-up. Why do I need the marginal gingiva? Because I wanted to limit the end, the finish line of my mock-up or my temporary material. Because even mock-up index could be used for temporization, for example, as well. For short-term temporization with our material that we have. But in long-term, we said we go for the lab work. Now, the difference in this is the where we cut. We cut below below the teeth and below the marginal gingiva. Suppose I have marginal gingiva here. Okay, let me draw the marginal gingiva, the papilla. Sorry, the marginal gingiva is here and the papilla is here. So we have papilla and marginal gingiva, okay? This index, we cut it below the marginal gingiva and below the papilla by 1 millimeter. This is which one? Temporization. Temporization index. It's the same way we cut it with blade or by burr. It's the same morphology. I don't need to have wash and putty here. One material is enough. And why do I need it? Because I want to make it temporary. How is the temporary made? By flowable composite or some composite, but not temporary weak mock-up material. Okay, you have to have it composite, actually. Now, the tooth should be isolated because I don't want it to stick there unless if I want it to stick, I need it for temporization. If I want it to stick, I do acid etch, pinpoint acid etch and bonding, and I flow with my material. It's a flowable material. I put it in the index, put it on the teeth. What happens is that the excess material will come out from here. Okay, so this is excess. What I'm going to do, I'm cutting it all off. The end result is what? These are the teeth. Okay. These are my laterals. Okay, the end result, we also have canines, but let's make it short. The end result is our temporary material is covering all of the veneers except what? This gingival part.
Additive composite.
Okay, this is exposed. All of these are connected and well attached by the bond and acid etch, pinpoint bond and acid etch. But why do we leave these? Because we want excellent long-term temporization. This is the shear side temporization. If I make them with the mock-up material and cover up to here, I do not control my finish line. If I want to control it, I might come with the bare and cut from it, so I ruin my finish line. And I need long-term temporization, and the veneers will not be ready for maybe 1 or 2 weeks or even more. So I want long-term temporization. What do I fill these areas between the finish line of the veneer and the material that I added with flowable composite? So with flowable composite, I flow the composite inside these areas, and with the chisel or bare plastic instrument or Hellenbach applicator, I clean totally the incisor.
بدون اتش ولا bond ولا
Here it will bind because this is resin and this is resin. It will bind together. Okay, when you cure the light cure, the flowable composite, it will bond with each other. And you already have retained them by the acid etch and bond you have placed pinpoint. Why do you place them pinpoint? Because we want to remove them easily. We don't want to scratch it off and prepare it of the two. No, we want to chip it off the tooth when we want to do our final restoration. Okay, so this is a temporization index. Okay, these are the type of indices used with veneers. Okay.